What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan says 40 Chinese warplanes have flown into its air defense zone. It's the largest incursion in more than 5 months. The Chinese aircraft reportedly included 32 fighter jets and 3 mid-air refueling craft. Taiwan's military says it's monitoring the situation and has set planes and ships to respond. The U.S. says it will divert roughly $320 million in military funding to Taiwan. That announcement comes as Taiwan is looking to invest more in technology like drones, some of which were showcased at an expo in the capital. Jaime Okan was there.
Over the next 3 days, thousands of people will come here to Taipei's Nangang Exhibition Center for what is one of the largest weapons shows in all of Asia. Now, a big focus of this year's show is the use of drones, and part of that is due to the war in Ukraine. Ukraine's armed forces have been using drones effectively to defend against Russia's invasion. One of the most talked about drones are these suicide drones. That means they explode on impact, destroying both itself and the target. Now, the maker of this drone, the Zhongshan Institute, has described it as a flying grenade. This one is launched from a jeep. It can take out armored vehicles. It's just one of dozens of drones that Taiwan is looking to mass produce as it faces its own threat from authoritarian China. Now, what Taiwan is hoping to do is boost its combat readiness and its capabilities without putting any of its soldiers' lives at risk. Andy Xue and Jaime Okan in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Foxconn founder Terry Guo was the last of the main candidates to announce his run for president, but he's the first to have unveiled his running mate. Ed Moon has the latest.
Taiwan's billionaire presidential hopeful Terry Guo has only just recently entered the race to be the country's next leader. But his team have quickly got to work, gathering the almost 300,000 signatures needed for him to enter the race as an independent candidate. And today, they've taken another leap. They've named their VP candidate, actress Tammy Lai, who recently played the role of president in a hit Netflix series about Taiwanese politics.
我相信朋友看到我站在这里，眼睛瞪得比嘴巴大。 心里想赖佩霞，你搞什么鬼?
While Lai is famous as an entertainer, Guo is best known as the founder of Foxconn, a company that made most of its money in China assembling Apple's iPhones. With his VP pick, Guo steered clear of the business world, but they both agree on the importance of maintaining peace with China.
台湾其实很有钱，只是都把钱放在国外。 主要是因为两岸不稳定的局势，让他们不愿意冒险。
What Guo hasn't done is chosen someone with previous political experience to be his running mate, and that might leave Taiwan's voters wondering whether a Guo-Tammy Lai ticket has what it takes to be running the country. At the moment, Guo is trailing in the polls behind the ruling party, the DPP's Lai Ching-te, the opposition Kuomintang's Hou You-yi, and the Taiwan People's Party's Ko Wen-je. Guo will hope his VP choice can raise his numbers and give his campaign some momentum. Joseph Wu and Ed Moon in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Disagreement over imported chicken eggs continue to rock Taiwan's politics ahead of a set of elections that could shape the country's future. Rick Loud reports on just what all the fuss is about.
Eggs imported from Brazil. They've become the latest political issue driving rivalries between candidates in Taiwan's upcoming presidential election. Taiwan consumes about 24 million eggs a day, but domestic production does not meet demand. The shortfall recently forced Taiwan to import a batch of 80 million eggs from Brazil, some of which had incorrect expiry dates, leading opposition candidates to go after frontrunner Lai Ching-te, candidate for the ruling Democratic Progressive Party and current vice president of the country.
这件事情其实是蛮离谱的一件事情，不要让食安的问题变成伤害民众。 最痛苦的，我们的赖副总统赖主席也要出来说一下吧。
你要污一点小钱就算了，那你要伪造那个有效日期，这根本就造假，真的是官商勾结，已经从国库炸了一笔钱出来了，还干这种事。
Lai is taking a clear lead in the polls. Nearly 40% choose him over Ho, Ke, and recent entry Foxconn founder Terry Guo. Lai used a recent public appearance to share his hopes for Taiwan's economy.
我有一个梦想，就是说让台湾的经济能够成为日不落国，就是让台湾的企业可以立足台湾，布局全球，行销全世界。
The candidate previously mentioned strengthening industries like semiconductors, AI, national defence and communications as part of his platform, but has yet to roll out a detailed plan. Less than 4 months until Taiwan elects its new president, much of the campaign has centred on political attacks rather than policies.
So at this point, the candidates are looking for things that distinguish one from the other. And part of that will be more along the lines of personal attacks or involvement in alleged corruption or involvement in failed policies when the candidates were in public office.
There's plenty of issues facing Taiwan in the lead up to crucial polls, from how to deal with neighbouring China to coping with an ageing society. But if the recent wrangle over imported eggs is anything to go by, local politics will continue to be a battle of getting one over your opponents. Karma Xu and Rick Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. Now, as the country closes in on the 2024 election, civic groups are calling on presidential candidates to implement stronger childcare policies. Overhaul childcare systems and more flexibility for parents in the workplace. That's what civic groups are demanding from candidates in the presidential elections in January. Several advocacy organizations came together to lay out what they think candidates should push for in their campaigns. Taiwan's low birth rate is a growing problem for the country, and these groups say that Taiwan's next leaders will need to have a plan to deal with it. Specifically, they say the country's childcare systems and rules for working parents need to be improved to turn things around.
到2021年，人口的负成长更加的严重，高达接近3万人，是直接跟2020相比翻倍了大概3倍以上。
So what exactly do these groups want? First, more flexible parental leave at the workplace. The current policy only allows new parents to take 1 month off at a time. But the groups say more flexible leave can offset the anxiety of dealing with child-related emergencies.
就是可以用以日为单位来请临时育婴假。
The groups also want working parents with children under 3 to get 1 hour off each day, making drop-off and pickup times at daycare more accessible. Right now, Taiwan's law allows this flexible hour, but it's unpaid.
等于家长每天减少1小时工时，然后接送小孩没有那么大的压力，但是薪资又不会减少。
Finally, the groups are calling for a more consolidated daycare and kindergarten education system.
我可以0岁开始送到这间学校，一路就读到6岁，而不需要在中间2岁或3岁的时候转换机构。这个对现在很多家长都是，尤其从小读托婴中心的小孩的家长是一个很大的痛苦，因为托婴中心到满3岁我就会被赶出去。
And these groups made it clear that the country's low birth rate, one of the lowest in the world, is a dire situation.
因为我们的研究也显示，从各种数据上已经可以发现。 此时此刻，应该可以算是台湾最后可以翻转跟改变的机会了。各个执政的人、执政的政党应该拿出决心跟魄力，好，真正的去掌握那个执行的方向。
The policy proposals may seem extreme, but the groups say that other countries have already implemented such measures and to great success. And they say there's no reason why these changes shouldn't be able to work here either. Foreign Minister Joseph Wu has told tech tycoon Elon Musk that Taiwan is not for sale after Musk said Taiwan was an integral part of China. Musk made the comments at a summit in California.
Their policy has been to sort of reunite Taiwan with China. From this standpoint, maybe it's analogous to like Hawaii or something like that, like an integral part of China that is arbitrarily not part of China.
Musk went on to blame the U.S. for blocking China's so-called reunification effort. Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu took to the Musk-owned platform X to stress that Taiwan is not part of China and, quote, not for sale. He also took aim at Musk on other issues like his refusal to open Starlink satellite services to Ukrainian troops during their counteroffensive against Russian forces. Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio has picked a pro-Taiwan politician to be his new defense minister as part of a cabinet reshuffle. Kihira Minoru, a former lawmaker, led a cross-party group promoting Japan-Taiwan friendship. The new cabinet also has 5 women members. This includes the new foreign minister, Kamikawa Yoko. A desperate search is underway for survivors of devastating floods in the Libyan city of Derna. Thousands of people have already died. Volunteers from around Libya are preparing aid supplies as rescue teams arrive from neighboring countries. Turkey is sending over 100 paramedics as well as supplies to set up field hospitals. Large parts of Derna were destroyed after a powerful storm caused dams to burst, triggering floods. The United Nations Aid Agency says the death toll is at least 5,000, and officials say 10,000 people are still missing. Many are believed to have been washed out to sea. Taipei city government says homes near the site of a partial building collapse are safe to return to, but some residents doubt that's true, pointing to cracked walls and sagging floors. Another round of inspections will start on Friday, but as John Van Trieste reports, many say they feel stuck in limbo.
Cracks and holes, sinking floors, and doors that won't shut. This is the aftermath of a botched construction project in a Taipei neighborhood. Last week, it caused nearby buildings to lean or partially collapse. But the focus of attention is only on the worst affected. People from some of the buildings, like this one, have been told it's safe to go home. Faced with signs of damage, though, many, like this resident, have doubts.
不敢保证说什么时候地震的时候会垮下来，而我认为不安全，我自己看的都很恐怖啊，我的家人都不敢回来住啊。
In response to concerns, the city says it will send structural engineers to do safety checks, one apartment at a time.
周五、周六、周日，我们会由技师进到逐户的这个屋内，
要检查就是梁柱是否有裂缝，然后要跟原来的去比对。开挖之前它就有一些损坏存在的话，那后来有加剧的情况吗？有加大的情况吗？
The city says it will have the company responsible for the faulty construction do the repairs, or if the company is unwilling, it will direct repairs itself. It's not clear how soon this will happen, though, or who will be eligible to have what fixed. For now, all concern seems to be on the 25 most damaged units. Those residents were the only ones allowed in to a city meeting on rehousing subsidies. This lack of attention has other residents feeling uneasy about the future.
饭店的安置时间可以到22号，到22号之后呢，后续要怎么处理？
A week after their homes were damaged, there's still no answer to these questions. James Lin and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Local phone companies are joining the government's fight against international scam calls. From the end of September, a warning message will play at the start of all calls incoming from overseas. Scam groups, many based in Southeast Asia, often target Taiwanese people with phone-based cons, sometimes stealing large sums of money. The communications agency hopes the new warning will make people think carefully about whether they're being targeted too. Koji pottery is an old craft often seen at Taiwan's temples. The art is mostly used for roofs and walls, so its beauty is not always easy for people to observe. Now, one temple has lent its collection of century-old masterpieces for display so people can see them up close. Yu Jinghuang has more.
A figure riding on a horse, or leaning forward with a clothes bundle. Statues like these are commonly seen decorating temples across Taiwan. These particular pieces were made in the 1860s by a master named Ye Wang, who specialized in Koji pottery. Koji pieces are normally high up on temple walls or roofs, so Yunlin County's Cultural Affairs Department borrowed these pieces to bring them closer to the public. The exhibition also displays works by contemporary Koji master Wu Rong, who creates modern pieces using traditional techniques.
从传统到这个创新，到当代的这个艺术展出，所以可以看到交趾陶从传统的宫庙，这样的一个工艺展现，到走进日常生活当中的一个工艺艺术。
The exhibition in the central county of Yunlin shows the development of Koji art. It originated in China and flourished after finding its way to Taiwan. Guided tours of the exhibition are available, giving visitors the opportunity to appreciate an art form that's closer to their lives than they might realize. Devon Tsai and Yu Jinhuang for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of dogs showing off their surfing skills at a beach in Southern California. I'm Liao. Take care, and I'll see you next time.